Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM. Welcome back to the Vintage Oaks. I do hope you're all doing very well and having a wonderful day. So yeah, here we are. We are moments away from when the last episode ended, just turned 2:30 in the afternoon. So we're going to crack on. I think I am going to try my very best to squeeze in at least one cultivation job in one of our fields before it gets dark this afternoon. Obviously we're in September, the days get a bit shorter and a bit darker quite quickly later on in the afternoon, so I'm going to try and squeeze one in. Now, in order to help me along with that, I haven't made any really major changes to anything that we've equipment on the farm, but I have purchased one more cultivator, so we've got 3 of those. Obviously, like I did in the last episode, we've got 3 plows. It just made sense to me now to get 3 cultivators as well. They're really cheap, only a couple of grand. So yeah, should help me get at least the cultivation jobs done a little bit quicker as well. Now, to do this one, we're going to employ 3 of these tractors. We're going to employ the 27810s and the Case 1455 XL. We're going to have a go with those 3 today, and we're going to go straight over to field 17, which is actually one of the smaller of our, I think it's the smallest of our fields. If I jump into the map PDA, putting aside the 2 grass fields here, 23 and 70, we're going to work in field 17 here. This is the one that I ploughed with a singular plough a couple of episodes ago. So we're going to run the 3 cultivators in here, get that done. What I might do, just to give myself a bit of a fighting chance and just to get ahead of myself a little bit, is I might work on into the night, into the dark, again using those 3 tractors and 3 cultivators, and get 22 done, or possibly 62. I'm not too sure yet. That one is obviously going to be the one that takes the most time, so I might actually do that one, thinking about it. Obviously 26 is done here. We did that a couple of episodes ago with the 27810s. Obviously then, once we've got all of these fields cultivated, then we will be able to pick a crop, pick some seeds, and figure out what we're going to plant in there, because I haven't really put too much thought into that just yet. We will have a look in the menu, see which crops we can make the most money from. Obviously we do still have several 100,000 litres of grain sat over in our Manor Oaks silo over there to sell come January time. I think we're going to make several £100,000 back from that, so that is excellent. But one of the big changes that has gone on is FARMERSIM Briscoe has just recently released version 1.0.0.3 of the map of the Vintage Oaks. So Chimera, my farm builder, very kindly took that new update and redid her work in Giants Editor for me here, and made sure that everything seemed to be running as it should be on the new update. So really appreciate that, Chimera. Thank you, mate, as always. Very appreciative of all the hard work that you put into this for me. So yeah, it's running perfectly, and we have all of our bales in the shed here. That was my main worry, I suppose, was losing these things again with all the jiggery pokery with save games and map updates, but no, it's all good. It was a relatively straightforward update, I believe. Now, regarding the update, there are a handful of parts of the update that I can experience and take advantage of. There are a couple of things that do require a new save game, so I've obviously not being able to do that, because I ain't getting rid of this one, that's for sure. The things I have got now are on the map in the game is I can now sell silage bales at the bale sell points. There are a handful of new custom sounds. I did have a conversation with FSB, FARMERSIM Briscoe, on Discord the other day, and he's told me that he has added in, for example, there's some custom church sounds, so the church bells chime at various parts of the day, so that's pretty cool. And I believe that there is also a plane and a helicopter in the sky, and as you can see there you go, we have traffic on the map now as well, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, there's a plane and a helicopter that fly over at certain parts of the day as well, so that's pretty cool. Looking forward to catching those. So let me just carefully reverse up to the cultivator, the first one. There we go. Let's lift that up, and we're going to fold this up. Now, I have just spent, I did stop time for the last half an hour or so. I have just done a bit of additions to my auto drive network, so that I can start sending vehicles back into some more of my fields, and I did just have to make a few amendments as well as to around the placement of the new buildings that Chimera did for me. So hopefully, if all goes to plan here, I should be able to bring up my menus. Let's go into auto drive, field 17, and off you go. And there's one, nicely, and now we can go and grab the 27810s and send them both over to the field, and then we're going to crack on. Now I'm hoping I should be able to get most of this done and present it to you in a bit of a cinematic before it gets too dark. That's the whole plan. So yeah, I shall gather everything together, and I'll see you over at the field in a few moments' time. Right, we're on our way now. The other two are ahead of me. Should be probably at the field by now. But yeah, the couple of things that FARMERSIM Briscoe's added into this map now that I can't take advantage of. He's added 3 new sell points to the map, which require a new save game. He's done a bit of work with smoothing field boundaries and a couple of other little bits of attention to detail that I obviously, like I say, because of the fact that I'm certainly not going to be redoing this save game, I won't be able to take advantage of that. But it's all good. I'm perfectly happy. I was perfectly happy with version 1 of the map, let alone having updates. Now we've got traffic, as I say, and a plane and a helicopter and all that, so it's all good. There we go. So, here we are. This is what we're going to work in. Now, like I said, it's the smallest of our... we've got 2 smaller grass fields, but as for arable fields, crops, it's the smaller one, but it's still a whopping field, isn't it? It really is. So, I'm going to get a course plotted out for these 3 machines, and I'm going to crack on and see if we can race the sun again, eh? Well, there we are, ladies and gentlemen. There is a first time for everything, and this job has taken us just over 1 hour, so that's absolutely brilliant. So I'm very happy that I did purchase that 3rd cultivator. So we've still got a bit of daylight ahead of us. What time is it now? We're just knocking on the door of 4 o'clock exactly. This one's got 20 seconds left. The other 2 obviously following shortly behind. So 1 hour to get one of the jobs done. Brilliant. First time. So what I think I am going to do, I am going to take advantage of a bit of time that we've got left in the day. I will probably be working into the night now until it gets pretty dark. But what I think I'm going to do, I'm just going to soldier on. All three of these tractors need a bit of topping up of fuel. This one's not too bad, but the two Fords are quite empty, so I'm going to get them back to the yard, top everything up, and then off camera I'm going to see how far I get with the other two fields and just see if I can finish off September fully cultivated, as it were. I think that might be a very good thing for me to do. So while those two finish off there, I'll run this one back to the yard, and I think, to be fair, I can safely, I think we're going to be running in this one next and potentially finishing off with 62. So I can afford to just trudge across this field, I think, for now. So yeah, I'll get all this done off camera. This is going to be several hours work, so yeah. Well, that one was an hour, so this one's probably, I'm going to hazard a guess and say 2 hours, and 62, the big field there, potentially somewhere between 2 and 3 hours, possibly, but we shall see. Like I said, though, it'll be good to finish off September fully cultivated, and then we can jump right into October and get ourselves some seed into the ground. And in order to do that, I suppose maybe some of you might have figured out I was going to do this anyway, but there we go. Let's start that one filling up. But yeah, I'm going to get hold of a third seeder as well. It just makes sense. It really does. So there are, again, only a few £1,000, a couple of grand, but we'll sort that out closer to the time. So I'll crack on with all this, and I shall see you, no doubt, when it's pretty dark a bit later on this evening. Well, just under 5 hours later, and both those fields are done, so I can show you much easier in the map PDA there. There we go. So field 62, field 22, as you saw in the cinematic there, 17, and obviously we did 26 a good couple of episodes ago. So now, mistakenly, I said earlier that I was going to be finishing off September, but of course I changed it to 4-day month, so we've got to the 4th of September tomorrow as well. So we're in good stead for that, though. And while all that's been going on, I've added a few light poles around the place, just to, well, just make it look a bit better. I'll jump out a cab view there and you can just see it a bit better, because this place was pretty dark. Some of the workshops do have automatic lights coming on, but down the lanes and across quite a few areas of the farmyard, it was pitch black. So I've been busy off camera, as well, kind of busy anyway, you know, just lighting the place up a bit, and I think it looks really quite nice. So what I am going to try and do first and foremost is give this lot a quick repair, because these two 7810s, for example, are pretty much knocking on the door of about 50% damage. So right, so we need to repair that for £1,726. Yep, we need to repair that one. 2646. Well, it's got to be done. And 2027. I'm not going to repair that because that seems completely pointless, but I think we'll repair the cultivators as well while we're at it. There we go. Nicely done. Okay. And also off camera as well, I bought myself the third seeder. So because I think it's just the right thing to do, to be honest. And these three machines are the perfect candidates for running these seeders as well. They require very little horsepower, and they weigh very little. So I think, yeah, these are the three to do the job. But it's late. It's knocking on the door of nearly 9 o'clock now. So I think I'm going to tidy everything up. I'm going to put everything back where it belongs for the night. I always tend to do that. Can't seem to bring myself to leave things in places they shouldn't be, so we shall put everything back to its rightful place. Those of you who watched the last episode know that I spent a considerable amount of time giving everything its rightful place, so it'd be a bit shameful of me not to put things back there after all that time. So we'll pop these back in here, and we'll put the rear lights on the tractor as well, so we can see what we're doing, see where we're going. There we go. Drop that one down. There we go. Right, so I shall get all this lot finished off, tidied up, put away, and then I'm going to run back to the house. We'll go and have a sleep, and I shall see you first thing in the morning. And good morning, everyone. So, 4th of September, here we are. The weather is it's just given cloudy for the most of the day, although we're at 6:45 in the morning. There's clouds in the sky, but it seems relatively nice so far. A lovely bit of a sunrise going on over there. Now, I suppose because of the changing in the days, so to speak, the 4-day months now, the cows are actually still fine for straw and for food. So, don't have to mess around with them just yet. Probably have to give them a bit of a topping up later today, perhaps. But for now, we can leave them be. So that means we can concentrate straight away on getting our first seed into the ground. So, in fact, I'm jumping ahead of myself there. Let's have a look-see and see what we can get into the ground, actually. So, there we are. The autumn wheat, barley, canola, oats, grass, and oilseed radish. So, I think, well, we've got a few fields we can drill in, so we may as well do one of each for now. So, we'll go for a bit of wheat first of all. So let's get these 3 back out again. I did give them all a bit of a wash as well before I went to sleep last night. The hose pipe literally just stretches to this one, so that worked just quite well. So, as you know, as you remember, we gave them a service as well, so they're all tickety-boo. They're fine for fuel as well. So all that's left to do is spend a bit more money. Oh, brakes are a bit shoddy on this one, I've got to say. Let's get that one hooked up. Cables. This one doesn't even have any cables, okay. Let's lift it up. Open that cover. Let's just, oh yeah, we just squeezed through the door there. So, our seed tank that I placed down a couple of episodes ago as well. This should, in fact, we'll bring up the menus just to make sure we're doing things right. Should be about okay there. There we go. Let's change the quantities to tons there. Now, I did amend the capacity of these things from, I can't actually remember what they were as standard, but I've given each one of them a capacity of 5,000 litres, just to save me having to come in back into to the field and whatnot. So there we go. So, there we go, £5,000 just under, well, just under 4.5, sorry, to fill it up. So, it does cost a bit, I guess, but that's all good. Once the seed's in here, we've got it there. So now which way am I going here? Let's get my bearings. So in fact, we'll trundle along here. As you can see, I've placed a few lampposts down here as well. I always go for these particular lampposts. I know there's quite a few variants we've got the option to choose from, but for some, I've had this, I can't remember exactly who it's by. It's a light pole package, but it's a lovely old, it's just a nice old looking lantern style street light, and I use them on every single farm that I ever build. So, yep. Say breaking from tradition, using on here as well, because they just suit the place down to the ground. Obviously, let's give a nice little bit of ambient light as we're driving along when the sun's not high up in the sky. Right. So if I remember correctly, I need to come out of here, hang a left, don't I? Get ourselves to the field. Now I do actually need to make sure that I'm looking left and right this time, don't I? Because we have traffic, finally. So, I imagine it's relatively quiet at this time of the morning though. I do need to be careful because this is quite a wide thing. There we are. I can't actually remember how far down here. Oh, is this us here? Yes, this is us here, isn't it? There we go. Lovely. Right, so this one's here. I shall get the next two here as well, get them filled up. There we go. In fact, it'll just be quicker for me just to do that. So yeah, I'll get these two hooked up to the seeders, filled up, and I shall join you back at the field in a few moments' time. Right, okay. We're off to start the job now. I've got my 2 workers rolling ahead of me. I'm going to run in the Silver Jubilee Ford 7810 here. The course is a 4-metre course. It's a 4-metre wide drill. So again, this is going to take a good couple of hours, I'd imagine. But we've got a good start on it. It's nice and early. Seems like the weather's going to be reasonably good to us today. That's all that matters. Good weather for getting the seed into the ground. So, the course starts us well over on the other side of the road, on the other side of the field, sorry. Of course, we start with the field centres. We're going to run the centres first and finish off with the headlands so we're not constantly driving over the seed that we've just drilled around the edge. And we're going back into the up and down rows. So, as per usual, I'll pop this into a bit of a cinematic for you all, and I shall see you in a wee while's time. Well, there we go. That was a massive job well done. We have sown our first seeds here on the vintage oaks. And there's that bug again, and I'm in every single one of the tractors. There's no course player auto drive sitting and waiting here or anything, but my character's in all 3 of the tractors. That's an odd one. Anyway, yeah, good job well done. Now, that was also quite an expensive job. We did have to refill each of the seeders once, so I am very glad that I did manually increase the capacity of all these 3 in the XML to 5,000 litres, but otherwise we'd have spent a huge amount more time going back into and filling up. So in total we have used of seed 18,147 litres. Now interestingly, I was keeping my eye on this as we were going along, because I noticed throughout the whole course the red tractor, the case tractor here, has used more seed than the middle tractor, which was the blue one, and then running up behind with that was the silver tractor. This one had used in total 6,816 litres. The blue one used 6,068 litres, and the silver one here used 5,263. So I suppose, I mean, they started on the centre rows, didn't they? They did all the up and down centre rows first, and the case emptied itself much quicker than the blue one, and then the silver one, which I found a bit odd because they were kind of covering the same amount of land. The only bit I would have thought would have made any difference would have been the headlands, because it would have been similar to the whole concept of, like, when you see on the athletics, for example, and people running around a running track, the person on the outside, in the outside lane, will always run that little bit further than the person on the inside lane, hence why they stagger the starts. But either way, I just didn't appreciate that it would take so much more seed. But anyway, so it's also been quite a dear do, that one. In total, even though we haven't used up all the seed, we've still got, obviously there's a few thousand litres left in each one. It's cost us 26,994 quid to drill this field. Now, this isn't our smallest field, but it's not our biggest field either, so field 62, that's going to cost a pretty penny, I imagine. But also, interestingly, it hasn't actually showed up properly in the finances yet. Now, whether I'm missing something, I don't know. But if I go into our finances here, for some reason, when I fill up with seed from that seed tank, it doesn't come out of here at the seed costs at the top. It doesn't come out of there for some reason. It just comes out of the miscellaneous category. But as far as I'm concerned, we should see in total a minus 26,994 quid from September, and at the minute we only see minus 7,589. Now, the money obviously adds up when we look at the amount that we've got in the top right hand corner, 7459590. That's obviously right, because we started off with somewhere in the 90s today, didn't we? So either way, it's just one of those things, but I'm hoping maybe when we get into October it might sort itself out. It's just nice to see all the finance. I've always liked to try and make sure everything balances in the finances here off screen. Anyway, that's that. So, our first seed is in the ground. Big job, well done. It took just under 3 hours, that did. So, like I say, it could have taken even longer had I had much smaller hoppers and had to go back into filling up more often. But either way, it's all good. But I think for now, ladies and gentlemen, now that we've got ourselves to this nice stage here, I'm going to call it here for today's episode. So, as always, I want to thank you all very much for watching the video. I do hope you found it a little bit fun and a little bit interesting. As always, if you're new to my channel and you like my content, you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please give the video a like if you can. And as always, there are a host of links in the video description below with my Giants Partner promo code. If any of you are in the market for purchasing a DLC, an add-on, a season pass, or even the full game itself, or even pre-ordering Farming Simulator 25, and you like the idea of helping a content creator out and supporting their channel, as always, I would be hugely appreciative. So thanks again for your time, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode.